Welcome to the high school football forecast here on the Acadiana postgame show. I'm your host, Greg Larnard, and this is playoff round number 2. All right, let's take a look back at our player of the week from week number 1 in round 1 of the high school football playoffs. And our player of the week comes to us from the Laurelville Tigers, the 20-seeded Laurelville Tigers. It's quarterback Zy Alexander. He had himself one heck of a game last week, and at the half they were trailing to Lake Arthur, actually 30-20, but in the second half Alexander said, "Get on my back, I got you guys." He had rushing touchdowns of 53 yards, 51 yards, and a 7-yard score as well. And on the ground in total, he had 151 yards and 4 scores, and through the air 240 and 3 scores. If you're doing the math at home, that's 7 touchdowns. And they scored 48 points, so he accounted for every single one of Laurelville's points in their opening round win against Lake Arthur, 48-38. And for his efforts, the 20-seeded Laurelville team, they'll go on and take on the number 4 seed Mango this week. Good luck, Zy Alexander and Laurelville. Our second game that we're watching out for this week in the high school football playoffs, round number 2, it's number 11 Haughton at number 27 Comeaux, and this is a matchup of two 5A schools in the 5A playoffs. The Comeaux Spartans, they advanced via an upset as they defeated number 6 Slidell last week, 42-16. And this was the first time in 10 years that Comeaux came away with a playoff victory. And when you look at this Comeaux Spartans team, it seems like they've been playing with a chip on their shoulder all season long. You know, with the whole rezoning thing and the Southside Sharks starting up their football program and losing a couple of the players to Southside with the rezoning. So again, they played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I like a team that's played with a chip on their shoulder. And don't get me wrong, it's not just the chip that they've been playing with. They actually have some legitimate players on this Comeaux team as well. As for the Haughton Bucks, they're 9-2 on the season, and Coach Doug Dotson of Comeaux said they kind of run a similar type of spread offense to what Southside does. And if you look back, just a couple of weeks ago, Comeaux actually defeated Southside, so maybe they'll fare well against Haughton this week. Player to watch is quarterback CJ McWilliams from Haughton. He's a mobile quarterback, and he's got a solid arm as well. Should be a fun one this week at Comeaux. All right, the final game that I'm watching out for this week, it happens to be our game of the week, and you can hear it on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. It's number 7 Teurlings at number 2 De La Salle, and this is the Division II playoff matchup. The Rebels defense, they came to play last week against Parkview Baptist, getting big stops and big turnovers time and again. And the offense, they were trailing late in the fourth quarter, but came away with a late score to defeat Parkview Baptist for the first time ever, 18-14. And they're moving now to the quarterfinals, where they're facing a well-rested De La Salle team. And when you look at this De La Salle team and a team that's coming off of a bye, you can look at it in one of two ways. You can look at it as they're rested, they're well rested, they're ready to go, or maybe that they're a little bit rusty and it might take them a little bit of time to get into their rhythm. And for Teurlings, we're hoping it's the latter. All right, let's take a look at this De La Salle team. And the player to watch on this squad is their running back, Montrell Johnson. That's somebody this Teurlings defense is going to have to watch out for. He's got an offer from SEC powerhouse Tennessee. And in case you didn't get it, that's a little attempt at humor there, because Tennessee's not that good, but it is still an SEC school, so you have to watch out for Montrell Johnson. There's a look at it, week 2 of the high school football playoff matchups and our games to watch here on the football forecast here on the Acadiana postgame show. Again, I'm your host, Greg Larnard.